first, we got to hear from our good people at Monarch Money. Cecil, tell us about it.
Ever check your bank account and wonder where'd all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in. Your personal CFO giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app, it's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you just stop just managing your money and start building wealth. Surprising insights. When I start using Monarch, I realized just how much I still was spending on food delivery. Now budget smarter and save more. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use your Monarch to check your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNFL at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONNFL for half off your first year.
There it is. There it is. So it's official, all but official. Jimmy got, the 600 million that he needed from the state of Ohio. The land has been purchased. The dome is pretty much all systems go here, right?
Earl, you don't seem excited.
No, I'm very excited about it. To be totally
Okay.
honest with you, I'm very excited about it. I think for a few reasons. I think that one, I feel like in our city, the generation before us, they want change, but they are afraid to step into anything that looks like real change, right? I think in their minds and in their hearts, they mean well about pushing the city forward and trying to see things different. But a lot of people are traditionalists and they don't like to see things all of a sudden change that's always been the same. And I think that the city officials were banking too much on Jimmy Haslam and the Cleveland Browns having that stadium there to help redevelop the lakefront without having a real plan in place. And so the good thing that came out of this to me is I feel like Jimmy Haslam forced the powers that be hand to actually come up with a real plan, actually put some damn effort into it, be good stewardess, be creative, something that's cool, come up with something that's cool and exciting for the city of Cleveland. Now, a couple weeks ago, Cleveland Mayor Justin Bibb, had made the statement that he felt like that the Haslams should help pay for the addition of the current Huntington Bank Field after the team departs in 2029. He framed it as good corporate citizenship after decades of public investment. Now, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, the Browns responded that they're willing to assist with the demolition, and any work to develop the lakefront once they are gone, but say they are awaiting collaboration from the city. On the 15th, Cleveland issued a RFQ seeking developer for up to 50 acres of lakefront land from West 3rd to East 9th, including the stadium footprint, explicitly stating that the site will be without Brown Stadium. This goes on to say that this is part of the Bibb's shore to core to shore vision. The city of Cleveland was awarded $150 million for a pedestrian land bridge linking downtown to Lake Erie. So I guess my question to you, well, first thing before I even get to the question, what's your thoughts on, the Haslams being willing to pay for the demolition of Huntington Bank Field that's owned by the city of Cleveland? Is still being willing to participate in a renovation of the lakefront once they leave downtown Cleveland?
I think it's a smart business move. I think what the Haslams being, well, first of all, I think Bibbs is very smart for asking on the business side. And I think secondly, on the business side, the Haslams are smart for being willing to help develop and tear down and do what they got to do for that area. I think that kind of heals wounds. It kind of helps bring a close to that situation and also brings excitement to what's going on. I think when you talk about the older generation or just people in general that did not were in favor of buying the new stadium and building that land somewhere outside of the city limits. I think this can be a way to get back in good graces and then really start promoting the new Huntington Bank and what it will look like and all the assets that come with it, right? So I think it's smart on both parts. I think it's very smart on his part. If he would have said no, it could have been an uproar. Now you got people mad again and going here and there, and just things could just go awry. Where you just agree to it, say, "Hey, we'll fix. We're willing to do whatever you want to do." I think it's a smart business move by both sides of Mayor and the Haslams.
I think that as we move forward, in this process, I think people, residents of the city of Cleveland, will become more excited. And I think people who are pissed off about the stadium leaving, two things that happen. One, if we start fielding a winning team, they won't give a damn. And
Right.
two, as they start seeing the city of Cleveland develop, they are also not give a damn. But that's a prime piece of real estate, to be totally honest with you. And now that Mayor Bibb seems to be sunk in, okay, the Browns is moving. It is what it is. Let me move forward. And he's realizing, like, yo, that stadium sits on a prime piece of real estate that we can put entertainment venues down there, some
Mm-hmm.
hotels, maybe some
Mm-hmm.
housing. You can do a lot. You talking about stretching something from East Ninth to West Third, and you got a land bridge that's connecting everything. A lot of people that travel a lot always say, well, if you look at what Chicago has done with their lakefront, this is something that the city of Cleveland can mirror. I hear, Pittsburgh, for example, how they have everything set up, and things like that. Like it's beautiful. And so to me, I'm excited because now the city is being forced to be creative. And Mayor Bibbs, he did issue it. He said, I'm seeking developers with visions of a renovated lakefront on downtown Cleveland. And I think that after years and years of you and I growing up in this city and hearing all these different, ideas, it finally seems like something is about to be done. The only kind of thing that makes me shake my head is you didn't have to have your hand forced for this to be a thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think that, I mean, you're renovating Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you're renovating the Science Center. Let the stadium go. You got two monuments right there.
Mm-hmm.
Build on where you at, man, and just like have more of a tourist attraction, which is what you really wanted to do anyway.
Yeah, for sure. You can be more unique. I think it's a great opportunity, like you said. I think it said 50 acres is
Yeah.
what that's over. It's a great opportunity to find something creative and unique to the city of Cleveland to attract more people to come when they do come, right? When they come for sporting events or museums, whatever the case may be. Now you got an attraction, something family friendly, something even, it's so big. You can have family friendly, you can have kids, you can have adults, you can have nightlife, you can do so much with it. You can have residency, you can do so much with that area. I'm excited to see what they're doing. I love Mayor Bibb's vision and what he wants to do. I totally agree with you. Shouldn't have been a forced hand, but now we're gonna make the most of what we can, right? So I'm excited to see what comes from it.
Yeah, because like, when he was elected mayor, so like I had some skepticism and some optimism. Skeptical because he's our age,
Mhm.
right? And you're talking about being in charge of a major city, and you don't know really how many different experiences that you have to be running the city. But then on the other side of that coin, he's our age. Our generation is the last generation to play outside, the first generation to touch social media. You feel me?
Yeah,
We are that
yeah,
bridge generation. And
yes,
so, and then
that's real.
he's from the inner city, just like you and I. Like he grew up like in Moore's Black projects,
Mm,
right? And so understanding that it's like, okay, this man probably has a multitude of ideas flowing through his head. He probably is like innovative as hell. Let's see what he can come up with to help like the city that he grew up in, help make it better. It's just that people got to let go of what's always was. You can't keep what's was and still trying to move us into the future at the same time. I'm excited to see how it's going to look in a few years. I'm really excited for the Dome Stadium. I never really like, even though it would have been cool if they could have found a piece of real estate downtown and keep it downtown.
mm.
They didn't. It is what it is. I can remember driving out to Brook Park to go to Super K with my parents every week to go to the grocery store. So it ain't that long of a damn drive, man. I'm with it. What do you think? Last thing before we move on, what do you think when it comes to the entire site and the mixed use of it? What do you think should be the main priority that drives that redevelopment downtown?
Oh wow, what should drive it? I think ideally the Cleveland. I think in a perfect world, what would drive people to that area would be the Browns' success. It drives people to that area, right? But I
Mhm.
think in that area, you need to have some top tier, which it will be, I'm assuming, top tier, whether it's restaurants or attractions, and continue to build up that whole entire area. I think that's what's going to drive it, though. But if you have a successful football team, like I'm thinking about, even if it's not successful, I look at the Dallas Cowboys, for example. Their team drives people to the area that the stadium is in. Now, around the area is where the beautiful malls and shops and everything is. That's where they're making money. So it makes money for the city and the team all together, all in one place. So I think if you have the Browns that's winning, that drives them there. And then from there, whatever's around it benefits.
There it is, man. Y'all let us know what ideas you have for lakefront renovations. If you was in charge of making those decisions, what would you do with the Cleveland Browns, with the city of Cleveland's lakefront once the Cleveland Browns leave from downtown Cleveland?